Attorney Jerome Payne. Live TV talk on your digital device, on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Download the SVP TV app right now. Check us out every Tuesday on Comcast Cable, Channel 17, 8:30 p.m. And we are live every Friday on Facebook Live, 6 o'clock in the evening. You've got a question? Our attorneys have the answer. So let's talk law with Attorney Daryl O'Neill on the SVP TV network.
Welcome to Talking Law with Daryl O'Neill. I'm your host. I got my main man Jerome with me.
What's going on, man?
Man, I got messing with Angel, got tongue tied,
yeah,
man.
you look sharp, yo. Brother.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
So, I know we got to give our shout outs.
That's right.
But, we want to continue down the path because, we were messing around with the employment stuff.
Right.
So I want to continue. And then I want to make sure that we answer. I wasn't certain last week whether or not we answered everything in the caller's question.
Okay.
So I just want to double check myself.
Very
on
good.
it.
Yeah, because I always take precedent. Because you said that, right?
You take precedent. So I want to go back and make sure that we answer the question.
Sounds good.
All right, y'all. If you got Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, the SVP TV network app, got Facebook Live, YouTube Live. You can call in at any time and ask any question on any subject, and we'll answer those questions.
Yes, sir.
Can't beat that. And it's guess what? And today only, it's free.
No shout-outs there.
No, I was just telling them it's free for the call-in.
Okay, get the shout-outs in.
We got to give our shout-outs to California. Give our shout-outs to Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yes.
Shout-outs to West Memphis, Arkansas. Shout-outs to Memphis, Shelby County. Shout-out to Mississippi. Shout-out to the great state of Missouri family. Shout-outs to Jerome's family.
Hey.
All right. So,
there is a crazy world out there now today, man. So some of the federal judges are jumping in. You notice that now. I think about 2 or 3 of them said, "Hey, what the heck's going on? You can't file these people like that."
Well,
so what's really going on, Mr. O'Neill? Help us, man.
So you know what, Jerome? It's funny you say that. Okay, that's not really kind of what the federal judges are doing.
Okay.
So what happens is, I used to represent ASCME.
Okay, yeah.
And so ASCME has jumped in because ASCME represents federal employees.
Yeah.
That's one of their clients is federal employees.
Okay.
But what was happening is, so they did a blanket firing of thousands of people, right? And then they called it a reduction in workforce. But then the reasoning for firing them is they said poor work
Proficiency. Right.
What? How do you riff me and give me poor proficiency?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, and that's what the judge kind of got onto, and you got to really pay attention to this. If you terminate me for poor performance, right, that's a disciplinary issue. I get to go to the Merit System Protection Board.
Oh my God, that's exactly what we talked about.
Just what you talked about
last week.
Yeah. So the stupidest thing that they did, if you got a riff, but then you say the reason why we're riffing these people is poor performance, then you put them in the Merit System Protection Board category, and they get to appeal any of those actions.
Particularly federal employees.
Well, that's what the Merit, the
right.
MSPB,
Right.
the Merit System Protection Board only applies to federal employees.
Right.
But again, we talked about that last week and the week before that, is there's a couple of agencies. It's the federal government, it's normally a state government, and it's local government that gives all their employees due process rights. And they consider a job under the Constitution as a property right.
Yes.
So
in other words, you just can't take it without some kind of reason, due process. Due process of law.
Not without kind of reason, without due process.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, other words, if it's property, that means that it's kind of like what, a robbery or some other thing. If you take my property, then I got some recourse.
Well,
right? Could you say it like that?
Well, no. I mean, so this is straight out of the Constitution.
I got you.
And straight out of the Fifth Amendment. Life, liberty, property.
That's right.
And the pursuit of happiness,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So property, a job is considered a property
That's
right.
right.
And so in order to take your property, they got to give you due process.
Right. I got you.
And so the federal government says once you become off of probation, you have a property right in your job.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you riff, that's a reorganization.
Okay.
There's an argument if you riffing people or reorganizing, it doesn't fall under the due process.
And so that's why they targeted a lot of people who were in their probationary status. They have not reached the protection.
right.
And so you don't necessarily have to do anything but
Yeah,
say,
yeah, they don't have any-
you out of here.
Yeah, you don't have any rights.
It's like the umpire.
Yeah, you know, and that's, and again, that's the right to work rule.
We're kind of laughing about it, but it's serious.
No. It's the right to work rule.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
There's nothing funny about you having a job
Oh,
today.
no. Oh,
and,
no.
And tomorrow you don't because of somebody decided that they're going to just
Well,
mass fire all these people.
and
like
it's
that.
kind of like, there's an argument if you riff people and then you rehire, the riff people come back first.
Oh yeah, it would seem that would seem.
Yeah, there's an argument for
Yeah.
that. Because a reduction in force
That's right.
is a job reorganization or, and so if there's other jobs are available or things like that. But see, if they riff you and then they tag you with poor performance, then that goes on your record, and then now you can't get a job.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
So now they're scarred too. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, it was really, yeah, I think they were really bad on that part of it, man.
And, the richest man in the world don't necessarily make you the smartest man in the world either, does it?
No. It makes you, again, and this is the thing about it. And again, I hate to quote Trump,
Right.
but Trump said it best. There's different rules for billionaires.
What?
There's, I mean, if you don't believe that, you on cheap drugs. I mean, if you don't believe that there's different rules, the more money you have, the different the rules look like.
Mm.
Think about this.
You know what you're saying, right?
I'm
And you're standing by it too.
I guarantee you. Am I wrong? Am I wrong, Angel? When the man says on national TV that if I want a woman, I just go and grab her in her crotch, and you make him the president, tell me there's not different rules for different people. Hey, I didn't say that. I didn't make it up, man. I didn't do that.
No, you didn't. You showed him.
I mean, that's what that man said. Didn't he say that?
Yes.
He said that. And lo and behold, and laughed about it. And he got voted as, and women voted him as president. I'm not saying all women. A lot of women voted for him to be president. Because the population is about 50% female.
Right.
So if you lose the female vote, you lose.
Right.
I mean, this ain't, I know it's.
What he said. That's what he said.
And that's what I'm saying. The rules are different.
Okay.
I mean, and again, there's levels, man. I mean, and it takes a time. Colin Kaepernick.
It's a sad day in America.
Yeah.
There, when you say that, it's a
Think about it from this way.
day.
Colin Kaepernick, all he did was kneel for a black justice.
Yeah.
Dude, they banned him from the NFL. Billionaires say he will never play in the NFL.
And he has never played in
And he's never played in the NFL.
But he got a humongous settlement.
Not settlement, a humongous lawsuit.
We don't. No, he already made. He been paid off already.
Exactly. He sued.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sued
Right.
for that issue.
Right.
Because, again, that's an antitrust matter.
Right.
When people collude together.
That's right.
This guy took a team to the Super Bowl. You mean he's not better than another 31 quarterbacks out there? I'm sorry, not 31. 62. I'm sorry, 64 quarterbacks. It's 32 teams. Each team has
At least
a starter
right.
and a backup.
And a backup.
And some teams have 3 quarterbacks on the roster.
I got you.
And you can tell me a guy that took a team to the Super Bowl is not good enough to get on somebody's roster?
You're right, O'Neal. But man, you on it tonight, dude.
I'm just saying. So I mean, but billionaires, and they, you know what? And at the end of the day, when he sued the NFL about that, because he didn't sue any one company, he sued the NFL.
The NFL said, yeah.
Because that was the NFL. The owners are all part of the corporation,
Right.
And so when he sued the NFL, that means that every team in the NFL and the organization as a whole is basically preventing me from getting a job, discriminating against me because of my race. That was the argument he probably made. That's a hell of an argument.
It is an argument. Yeah.
We kicking you out of the league because you're kneeling during the national anthem.
For
Or
social
you.
justice.
For social justice.
We don't want no social justice.
We don't want no social justice.
Daryl O'Neal, you on it tonight, man. I don't know who got you round up before you came in here, but you on it tonight, O'Neal.
And hold on a second, though. And I don't know if you remember that. You know the UFL, United Football League.
Right.
You know who started that, right?
What we call from Dallas, the Dallas.
Donald Trump.
Trump started, yes, sir.
That was Donald Trump's league.
I was not aware of that.
He sued the NFL for antitrust. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
And he won.
Yeah.
You know how much he won?
$1.
Exactly.
That's what I figured was $1.
$1.
Yeah.
They could not. The jury could not stand him.
It sounds like.
The jury could not stand him. Because I think they tried that case in New Jersey or New York. I can't remember. But so again, when we look at, think about it. The rules are different. Musk says that I want to trim the fat, for lack of a better word, in the government. And here's how I'm going to do it. I have no authority.
Right.
I have not been indoctrinated by no organization. Congress has not promulgated, there's no rule, regulation, or legislation that allows him to make the decision. That's another reason.
Right. And I've not been vetted
by
anybody.
Yeah. I have not been confirmed by Congress.
By Congress. Right.
At all. But I'm going to take these federal jobs that are controlled by Congress.
So the rules are different. I acquiesce. I was trying to maintain the Constitution of the United States of America, make us a democratic society, but the rules are different for billionaires.
Yeah, I mean, the millionaires, right?
So what about the millionaires? The rules different for them too as well?
I don't think it's much.
Okay.
Because
you got to be a certain level of millionaires.
Because I think P. Diddy is worth about $600, $700 million.
That ain't enough, huh?
That ain't enough. He need one more digit behind his name. He need Oprah Winfrey money.
Because they treat him sewn up like a Indian or something, man. Worse than black folk. They treat him like an Indian. He can't even get a bond.
Yeah, well.
They won't even give him a bond.
Well, his boy gonna take care of him because he pardoning everybody. So
all the criminals, all of the sex offenders,
This the time to be a rapist, a sex offender. I mean, it's disgusting,
it's
man.
Tough. It's tough right now.
But I mean, but he, again. I didn't give him that rule, that ability. The Constitution gave him. I mean,
I think I saw something recently too that said that the judges are not willing to expand the pardons as far as the DOJ wants them to be. Have you seen that yet?
No.
The DOJ is trying, like all of the January 6 people.
Yeah.
Trump pardon them.
With a blanket pardon.
But that's just it. They're not allowing the complete blanket pardon.
Right.
There are some of the charges might still be.
And I heard that out of East Tennessee.
Yeah, they might be still relevant, even though, because remember they can't. The president has the right to pardon somebody for state crimes.
No.
Only federal crimes.
Well, so what happened, and what happened here in East Tennessee, one of the guys from the January 6th ride was partying with the Trump's blanket party.
Right.
But the judge said that's not it.
Okay.
He says because he had conspiracy to commit murder against FBI agents after January the 6th.
Oh.
So that's not because it was January 6th.
That's okay. Trump gonna come back.
Oh, he may come back and get him again.
Just like Brian Kelsey.
Just pardon Kelsey?
He pardoned. After 2 weeks in jail. I guess he's been on the phone calling,
Burning that phone up, man. But
this is some terrible times that we're in
Well,
right now.
look, man.
We tried to warn the people that we were headed to an area where we've never been before.
look, man, let's be crystal clear. Okay. I don't know about warning the people. I don't know about anything. The people made it crystal clear, right, that they did not want
A black female
or they didn't want Vice President Harris
to be president of the United States.
Now, there's been arguments about the fact that maybe it's just she's a woman, but we can't go as far to say black, because we think about this. 8 years ago, we just had a black president, So, I mean, we can't go as far as say it's because she's black.
Okay.
The question is, the one thing we have not crossed, and I don't want to sound sexist, we have not crossed that woman threat. She's the first female vice president. She's the first vice president.
That's right.
Yeah. Female, black,
That's right.
Asian,
That's right.
all the above. I mean,
That's
so
right.
she was
I
the
agree.
first.
I agree.
So were they ready to make, see, I don't think Trump beat Hillary. I think Hillary just lost. And what I mean by that is the people were not ready for Hillary.
Well, a couple of things happened too. You got to remember, Darryl. A couple of things happened right before, 2 days before the election is when they came up with some other charges about the email stuff.
Yeah,
And so that was supposed to have been dropped and dead.
Yeah.
But and that's one of the things too that we had said we would never ever bring up some kind of situation in the middle of a presidential race.
Yeah, but I mean,
that would change the outcome.
I don't know I would go that far. Dude, they played videotape of this man saying, I just grab women's crotches.
That's true.
And if I want a woman, I just grab her and just kiss her in her face.
That's true.
And she can't say nothing.
That's true. Yeah. And
They played that
That's true.
over and over again.
True.
So if we want to talk about, there's no, dude, if I did that, if I said that on the air, on my way out, the police will probably meet me on the way out. Yeah, he confessed.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
So, yeah, I mean, dude, so, I mean, I hear you, but I was watching the show, and I know we digress.
Right, but that's okay.
I was watching a show, Jerome, and this black guy got on the show, and he said, man, I can't vote for Kamala Harris. And here's what he said. Man, she's a woman. And he said that, when all the powers that come together, it's all these men in there, and we got this little bitty old woman in there, and it makes America look like they weak. This mug said
it. Said it.
Yeah. I mean, how do you let that come out your mouth?
A lot of black men felt that way. They were serious about it.
Well, again, I always reflect back to my problem.
Yeah.
Black people hate each other. Oh, come on, man.
People, I never.
Come on, dog.
No.
Oh, they would rather see anybody win.
Well, for one thing, though, there was too open. There are a certain group of black people who possibly hate each other, but the majority of the black people stick together.
I'm not certain I'm going to go down that path.
Okay.
I'm not going to, because, again, I guarantee you, Jerome, we can talk to 10 people randomly anywhere. And I guarantee you, after they get their paycheck, it doesn't go in nowhere near anybody black after they get their first paycheck.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
So tell me you supporting black people and you don't turn that dollar over, it's economics.
Yeah.
a Jewish dollar, how many times it turns over?
They said it's, well, I'm not sure, it might be 16, but the Asian dollar turns over more, like 20 times before it leaves.
Dude.
And then come on down, and then
Dude.
ours only last 6
One time.
well,
No, it's one time.
It's 6 hours.
Oh, okay.
6 hours and it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It don't even turn the first
No,
time.
it don't turn the first time.
Yeah.
6 hours and it's gone.
Yeah. So that's a problem.
It is a problem. No question.
You know,
about
so it's economic. Everybody realize if I can control the economic dollar, I can control. Man, I don't have nothing against, Corby Trotz. But how much you spend in the black neighborhood?
it. Interesting.
Everybody running their boat over there because he got this headband on doing dunks on a basketball court.
Talking to birds.
Talking to birds. I mean, just all kinds of
All
buffoonery.
kinds of buffoonery.
Yeah.
And then your boy, well, I don't want to get into that.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean,
Because we know them all. Don't you know? You know Curry.
I
You
do.
know Curry.
I know.
You know his son too.
I don't know his son.
Yeah, I know his son too.
Yeah. But no, I'm not. Hey, look, he's not done anything wrong.
No.
He hasn't. No, don't get it twisted. I'm not even suggesting
Sure.
that he's done anything wrong.
Yeah.
Because when you hear your family members, I never heard my family members say it, or anybody that I could, that I want to talk to in my family, because I got a lot of family.
Right.
Some of them, we just share some blood together.
I got you.
But when you hear some people say that, man, I went to this black lawyer, or I went to this black doctor, or black whatever, carpenter, or whatever, and man, he messed up. I would never use another black person.
Yeah.
That is the most disgusting thing I've
I
ever.
agree.
When I hear that,
I agree.
I almost go off.
I agree.
I've never heard. Everybody that knows me won't say that around me.
Right.
Because I just go off. Because it's just a stupid
It
statement.
is a stupid statement. No question about
Yeah. But anyway, let me.
All right, let's get to our question.
Let me clean this question up.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I got
All
this
right,
question.
Okay.
So we talked about this. The person said I got coerced to leave my job
Right.
after I had an inpatient hospitalization. The problem when we started with that is it's too open-ended, because the first problem you got to have is if he's up on FMLA, he only gets 12 weeks.
That's right.
If that person was going past 12 weeks, then the company may have done him a favor by relieving him of duty or her of duty,
Right.
and not terminating him.
Right. We talked about that last week.
Yeah, so we
Okay.
talked about that.
Uh-huh.
But do they have grounds for discrimination? I think the short answer to that, based off of these facts, is no.
No.
But then we know that they don't, because the person said they were permitted to come back, but they were coming back at a different position and a
A
different pay.
different pay rate. Yeah.
Again, when you leave a job because of family medical, after 12 weeks, what the law says is we can hold your job for 12 weeks, but after 12 weeks, we got to replace that job or we're going to hurt ourselves. So they replace that job, which means they're not going to take the person that has your job out of that job and give you that job. But we really didn't have any animosity towards you, so we got another job for you.
So we brought you back.
So we're going to bring you back, give you another
Yeah.
job.
Right. Right.
And then we're going to, unfortunately, that job's got a lower pay rate.
Right. But that's different from when you leave in the military, right? When they hold your job in the military, they have to put you back in a similarly situated position, right?
That's a different
Totally
thing.
different.
Well, that
Yeah.
falls under a different law. It's
Yeah.
the USERRA.
Yeah. Okay.
Uniform. Anyway,
I can't think of what it is either.
Uniform soldiers, sailor, employment, reinstatement act. or
Right.
something like
Exactly. That's exactly what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Good job, Darren.
that. Yeah. I mean, I used to do a lot of USERRA.
Is that right?
Yeah. But yeah.
And so did we clean it up all the way yet?
Yeah, so, and then he says he gets ADA accommodations. Or he asks,
wait a minute now. There might be a little bit more in there with the American Disabilities Act
well, but again,
situation, right?
you can't use a different statute to keep you there longer.
I got you.
I mean, if you can't come back in 12 weeks,
I got you.
you can't say I need a reasonable accommodation to give me 13 weeks.
I got you.
That's not a reasonable accommodation.
I got you.
Because now you're forcing them to override another statute.
I got you.
But a reasonable accommodation, you you say, look, I can come back to work if you let me do desk duty.
I got you.
Okay, now that's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you let me take frequent breaks, that's reasonable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, it depends on what frequent is, but some of those things
I
are
got you.
reasonable.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
So you always got to look at
The reasonableness.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
That's a good standard too to go by. What's reasonable? What would a reasonable person in a similar situation do?
no,
That's the reasonable man standard.
reasonable man standard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's where we are on that. And I think that answers that question.
That's good, Daryl.
I just wanted to go back and because I know we were last week we were talking and we were answering that question, but we started jumping around.
Right,
And
right.
so I really wanted to come back and hit it, head on.
I think that's good. Now, Daryl, now that we've broached this matter with all of these firings, and we talked about it a little bit too last week. Whatever you do, don't quit.
Don't quit.
Don't quit.
Yeah.
Don't quit.
Yeah.
There's no coming back from a quitting.
Yeah.
No matter how frustrated you become, no matter how many times they tell you to write a memo or send an email, and you just said, I'm fed up, I'm going to quit.
Yeah.
And then the next couple of days, you try to change your mind.
Yeah, ain't no change.
You are in trouble.
You're in trouble. Yeah, and that's, we were talking about it. I couldn't think of it, constructive
Yeah, you
discharge.
did. Yeah, you did it. Yeah.
So, most states, the constructive discharge standard is extremely high.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did a case in federal court where a guy got terminated. I'm sorry, they were going to terminate him, and he quit. And the reason why he quit is he said because if he didn't quit, he was possibly going to lose his pension.
Oh.
But the court,
Or if he got fired, he loses his pension.
which is wrong. He's just wrong.
No.
Yeah, he's just wrong. I mean,
So he must have gone to Google or something.
yeah. Anytime
Not listening to you.
Anytime you use Google
Yeah,
as a lawyer.
Yeah, Google was his lawyer.
Yeah. I tell you, I always say that's the only lawyer I hate.
One down
That's
for
the
Google.
only lawyer I hate is Google. Yeah. So constructive discharge. I mean, the rules. I mean, they're just tough.
Yeah, I'm sure of it.
Yeah. I mean, luckily in that particular claim, I was able to establish that he was treated harsher than similar situated.
Oh, wow. No, that's the standard.
Yeah.
Right.
Similar situated non-minorities, and that's kind of how I got him over the hurdle.
Okay.
Oh, it was a ugly brief.
Where were you at?
I was in front of Judge Downer, Bernice Downer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
She said, he makes it just barely. He got one, and again, I tell people all the time, the genuine issue of material fact is if I got one fact.
That's right. That's right.
Man, I'll beat that fact.
I can get to the jury with
man,
that.
I'll stand on the table and beat that fact until it's over.
So you must have been fighting the summary judgment motion.
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're always going to file those.
Oh, really?
And those discrimination cases, they always file them.
And that's another thing too, Daryl. And one thing too that we've learned too is to always at the end of proof ask for a directed verdict.
Yeah.
You may look up and get it, but if you don't ask for it,
Well,
you don't get it. And it's the same thing with most of the things we talked about tonight. If you don't ask for information about holding on to your job, you'll never get it.
mm-hmm.
So they talk about a closed mouth don't get fed.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
The same thing with the law. You must ask the questions. And that's why we keep pounding every single week to tell you, pick up the phone and call.
Yeah. I mean, again, you can't.
That's the simplest thing you can do. You're on your
Man.
phone all the time anyway.
You can't be free. It ain't freer.
Right.
You can't be free. It's free.
Absolutely.
So, all right, y'all. I think it's time for us to move to another
I think
subject.
you're right.
So we'll bring you a new subject next